Okay, here's a little movie that'll show you how to use the iNZightVIT software for question 3 in the assignment. Open up the folder that's got the iNZightVIT software, and you should be looking at something like this, and clearly enough it says Start iNZightVIT. So I'm going to double click on that, and you have to wait a few seconds while the software loads. And I can see that by this window up here in the corner telling me to wait and be patient. Here's the starting panel to kick open VIT. Mine will look a little bit different from what yours looks like, but they will be the same in that down here there'll be a radio button for bootstrap confidence interval construction, and that's what we want to do in question 3. We want to construct a bootstrap confidence interval. So I've clicked the radio button, I'm going to run the module that I've selected, and I'll just line up my windows a little bit. And the very first thing I need to do is import the data. Now somewhere on your computer you need to have the data file zoo.csv, and when I import the data a dialog box comes up and I need to go and find that file. So I'm going to click on the browse, and I know where I've put it on my computer. I've put it in the folder called data. So if I open up this data folder and come down to the bottom, there is the zoo.csv file that I want. So I click on OK, and I click on OK, so it's got the address in here where that zoo.csv file is. Click on OK, and I've loaded the data. This is the control panel, this window. This other window over here is going to display the data, but I need to pick the variables that I want to display. This question is about zoo attendance on weekend days, and there's a sample of 59 of them. So for example, row number 1 is 1 day in the weekend, and there are 803 attending the zoo, and yes, it was a nice day. If I go down to the last day in the data file, it was day 59 and the attendance was 2,450, and no, it was not a nice day. In question 3a, I only want to look at the attendance. I'm not interested in what kind of day it is. So I need to click on the attendance name and drag it down and drop it next to variable 1. Drop the name here. And as soon as I do that, then VIT displays the data. Here's the actual data here in a data panel, and here's a dot plot and a box plot of those data. So I'm ready to go. I'm going to go to Analyze. I now need to tell VIT what sort of statistic or what sort of quantity I'm looking at. And in this question you're asked to look at the median, so I need to click on median. And I need to tell VIT to record my choice, so I'll click on this record my choice. And as soon as I do that, I had to wait a few seconds, but there is the median attendance for those days, those 59 days in my data. It was 1,200 people attending the zoo on that day. To answer the question in the assignment, I'm just going to do 1,000 resamples and show you the bootstrap distribution for those 1,000 resamples. But you'll probably want to have a play around with some of these other radio buttons. So I'm going to just go straight to the end. I've got an email notice there, we'll just ignore that. And I'll click on the radio button for 1,000 and I'll hit go. And there's VIT taking 1,000 bootstrap samples, and for each bootstrap sample, the line in blue in the middle there is a bootstrap median. And down the bottom panel I can see all these bootstrap medians, the history of them being caught. So I want to show you the confidence interval, so I'm going to take the central 95% of those values in the bootstrap distribution, and I'm just laying that confidence interval over the top of my original data. Now I need to capture this picture and put it into my assignment. So I'm going to click on the display, I'm going to right click, and I'm going to copy as a bitmap. And then I'm going to open a Word document. There it is. And I'm simply going to, this is where I'm going to write my assignment answers. And I'm looking at question 3A. And here's the picture that's going to go in my assignment for question 3A. I'm going to just simply paste this picture in this place. To paste it in, there's my clipboard, and there's the picture, and I've just clicked on it here on the left, and there it is pasted into my assignment. And then I'm going to write some stuff in here for my answer for the question that's asked. It's as simple as that. I'm going to go back to the software because I'm now going to do question 3B. So here we are back at the software, and I need to now go back to the data tab on the control panel. There it is, because now question 3B also requires me to consider the type of day it is. So I'm going to take this nice day variable and drop it down here. And as soon as I do that, look what's happened to the data. I now see the data, the attendance that is, for no, which is the days that weren't nice, and the data for the attendance, that is, for days that were nice. And I'm basically going to do the same thing. I'm going to go to the Analyze. Now that I've chosen those two variables, I'm doing question 3B. Go to the Analyze, and again I need to tell VIT what variable, what quantity I'm working with. And I'm working with the median here, so I'm selected the median, record my choice again. And there it's done it. I had to wait a few seconds, and there I can see the difference being 75.50, the difference between the medians. I'm going to come down here and I'm going to pick 1,000 bootstrap samples, hit the go button. There's the VIT generating these 1,000 bootstrap resamples. Nearly finished, and I'll ask the VIT to show me the central 95% of the values in that bootstrap distribution. And the first thing it's showing me is actually the difference between the observed difference between the two samples, and there's the bootstrap sample being shown. And again, I'll need to copy that picture, move my cursor over onto the display panel, right click, copy as a bitmap, and come back to my assignment, and I want to put it down here a bit, and now I can see on the clipboard, and I'm going to paste that into my assignment. This is the second one. I don't want to paste the first one again, so I need to look a little bit closely, and it looks like I can hardly see it, but the second one is there. And there I'm going to answer the question. This is question 3B. So I'm going to answer the question 3B, whatever my answer is. I'll just type it in there. Thank you.